Have you any idea how successful censorship is on TV? Don't know the answer? Successful, isn't it?
Screw your freedom.
You want answers?
I think I'm entitled.
You want answers?
I want the truth!
You can't handle the truth!
And the truth of the matter is, folks, is we've got some real SHTF coming. Yes, right now, this whole Roe v. Wade thing is off the hook. Yes, over in Ukraine, people are actually dying. Third world countries, they're rioting, they're protesting, they're squealing like stuck pigs because they can't even afford to buy basic food. It's really hit the fan, but here in America, we're going to get a little bit of all that. We're going to have more of a buffet, a smorgasbord buffet, only it's not going to be all you can eat. It's going to be how much can they shove down your throat? Well, they want to silence us. They don't want you and I to talk. And I really enjoy that Max Headroom piece. Yeah, if you don't know how much you're being censored, then their censoring is really working. Right. Well, there's a reason that they're squealing about the Twitter censorship, the Twitter buy by Musk. Attorneys for Laura Loomer, or Laura Loomer, if you will, have announced a major racketeering lawsuit against the big tech giants, Facebook and Twitter, and probably every other social media, and quite possibly some financial institutions, because they banned her. She is, quote, the most banned woman in the world. Do you even know who Laura Loomer is? Well, she's fighting back. She is, I believe, from down in the great state of Florida. She was running, I think, for Congress. And it's been years. They completely banned her and removed her from social media. If she puts a video up anywhere, if she even gets in, if I were to try interviewing her, they would ban this channel. Much like Alex Jones, the fabled AJ of the InfoWars, right? Who is simultaneously, and folks, this is the racketeering, simultaneously taken down by Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, all the social media. Then he had his bank accounts canceled. This is where the problem is. When they work together and say, well, this person just needs to be canceled. That sounds like censorship. That sounds like racketeering, right? Hello, liberals. In the Constitution, there's nothing about Roe v. Wade. In the Constitution, there's nothing about a right to abort a living human being. It's just not there. The words are not there. But this thing called the First Amendment, which recognizes our right to practice our religions without government interference, the right to speak freely, the freedom of press, and the freedom to express ourselves through all forms of human communication. That includes radio, television, and internet. So I am really hoping Laura Loomer has an impressive legal team, a nasty legal team. I hope she has vicious, blood-sucking attorneys that are going to go after them. See, this is the fear they have. She's going after Facebook and Twitter. Well, I'll tell you what, Musk might just tell Twitter, ring, ring, ring. Hello, guys. Laura Loomer goes back on the app. But she can still sue them for damages in arrear. Now, I hope she does. And what we need here is a ruling that social media companies cannot remove you for speaking your truth if no crime has been committed inciting violence. I think that's a criminal act. Maybe they ought to go ask Maxine Waters, the one of the dumbest human beings ever to breathe oxygen, Congresswoman, ask her about inciting violence. Maybe they ought to ask Kamala Harris about inciting violence by freeing violent BLM and Antifa protesters and then encouraging them to continue their burning, looting, and murdering. That sounds like inciting violence. That sounds far worse than Laura Loomer offering her political opinion on political, social, and economic issues. But that's what this is really about, folks. Yeah, there's a war in Ukraine. You and I can't stop it. But we can criticize it and we can affect the public's understanding of what's going on. Social issues around schools having to do with teachers and special interest groups sexually grooming children all the way down into kindergarten. Not to mention the rainbow crowd trying to instill in children the idea that they don't have to accept the gender that's between their legs and that they need to cut off those genitalia. Let's see, what else have we got? Yeah, everything. All of their policies, all of their wokeness, the critical race theory, the America is bad, that men are toxic, all the bullshit that they're pushing. For some reason, they went after Laura Loomer. And she is, I don't want to date her. She's kind of, she's a handful. She's a mess. She's I almost used the T word, not the Mr. T, but she terrorizes the left. There we go. Right. And she's very outspoken and very aggressive, and go get them, Laura Loomer. But she's got to get through these social media companies. And if she wins, folks, this is where the damage comes. If she wins, she gets her social media back. She gets money for it. And it kicks open the door for the rest of us. See, YouTube doesn't allow us to speak freely. YouTube punishes us. And that's what they're really worried about with Twitter, because Twitter has lied to Congress, lied in the media, lied to all of us and said, oh, yeah, you're not being shadow banned. You're not being hushed up. You're not being heard at all. Well, there is damage. Even though we are tiny, freaking tiny, the Prepared Mind Network, and the amount of money that they want to pay us through AdSense and other things, it's still a business. It's still treated as one by the Internal Revenue Service, right? When they send me a tax bill and go, hey, you made this much, so send this much in, right? Yeah, it's a business, and they are harming people's businesses. They're harming their political voices, and it is all partisan in nature. I'm sure Laura Loomer can give wild examples of how there are left-wing, leftist, socialist radicals on Twitter, on Facebook, and other social media that say things far more, shall we say, corrosive and nasty, right? As far as inciting violence or hate or coming up with anything they want, right? This lawsuit is going to be excellent. I'm glad she's doing it. I look forward to seeing it. Folks, it's already hit the fan. It's already nasty. It's already bad. It's already going to get worse. It's good to know that we have some skin in the game in the legal system. So support Laura Loomer and her effort. Right now, filing a major RICO lawsuit against big tech giants. Now, Facebook and Twitter's lawyers have to put their pants on one leg at a time. I'm sure all those men on their legal teams put on their little pink panties one leg at a time, just like everyone else who wears pink panties. Just because they work for the big guys doesn't mean their arguments are any better. But we'll see if the overall financial power of these social media giants, see if it trumps the law. Making a bad legal argument is the worst thing anyone could do. Making a good one, on the other hand, is impressive. Let's see how this turns out. Everyone, keep your ears to the ground, your eyes open, head on a swivel, watch your six, stay frosty, and chance favors the Prepared Mind is yours. It's about free speech, folks, and the right to defend it. Be cool, be safe, Semper Fi.